Serviced accommodation is hard work. Yep, I said it. This is the real stuff that nobody else is telling you. But here's the thing. Serviced accommodation is active income, all right? It's active income until you make it passive. And on this video, I'm going to share with you some of the toughest parts of running an SA business and how I've systemized them to at least make it less like hard work. Sound good? This is the right video for you. I'm Simon, rent-to-rent specialist, and on this channel, I share with you my experiences of my rent-to-rent 2.0 business and how I control property I don't own. I monetize it to build cash flow, and then I actually put systems in place to free up my time. Now, the holy grail is if you get enough cash flow, you can reinvest that into assets that you own, and then you will be able to completely remove yourself and have passive income forever. So if that sounds good, this is not only the right video for you, but this is the right channel. Hit the subscribe button right now. I really appreciate you stopping by. There's over 500 videos. Make sure you check out the book and make sure you check out the podcast because it's all going to help you on this journey. I think in property, there's a big issue because it's the only business, it's the only investment where from day one, you want to have passive income. Think about it. If you were setting up a restaurant, you wouldn't want it to be passive from day one. Okay? If you were setting up a clothes store, you wouldn't expect it to be passive from day one. You'd be expecting to work in it and get it set up and have first the cash flow, then the systems to free up your time. So your first objective is to change your mindset. If you generate enough cash flow, then you will be able to put in the systems. And on the Rent to 100K, I talk about the systems as processes, software, and ideally team. But the first thing you've got to do is you've got to understand this is active initially, and you've got to focus on cash flow. The second thing is, I don't mind something being hard if I'm being rewarded through financial rewards, right? So what you don't want is you don't want something that's super hard, but not making you any money. That don't make sense. So I feel like once you become comfortable with the fact that, you know what, I'm in a season of cash flow, I'm in a season of hard work, I'm in a season of active income, but I know that it's going to be worth it in the end, it's way easier. So, once you get to grips with that mindset, when the phone rings at 8 o'clock, when you're about to sit down for dinner, or when, you had something to do and had to go to the property at the beginning, you can become comfortable with it and you can accept it, but it's not forever, it's just for now. So now the mindset is feeling right, it's now time to look at the most challenging parts of an SA business and how you can overcome them. So the first thing that I find taking up a lot of time, is managing the cleaning and the linen. And if you can systemize this, you can run SA remotely from anywhere in the world. Because if you get the right cleaning team, you don't actually have to attend the property. Now, my cleaners, they do the cleaning, they do the top-ups of all the amenities, they do all the linen. So essentially, I don't need to do anything. Hey, they even do the inspections and let me know after every stay if there are any maintenance issues that need to be done. So what you want to do is you really want to invest in cleaners. I see some of you, okay, you get a cleaner, you pay them the money and you just expect them to clean. But here's the thing with building a business, you've got to invest in your team if you ever want it to be passive. And I was watching a podcast the other day with a billionaire, and he was explaining that when he hit a certain level, the work didn't decrease, it just changed. He went from trying to attract customers, i.e. guests, to trying to attract the right staff, the right talent, and investing time in that. So now I don't have much interaction with guests or tenants, even landlords. I'm mostly focused on my team, because I know if I build my team, that they're gonna look after the rest. Second thing is the OTAs and channel managers, the online apps. This takes a lot of time. The reason it takes a lot of time is because that is the engine room of your SA business. And at the beginning, you're going to find yourself having to change ads. You're going to have to find yourself changing prices. You're going to find yourself wondering if something's live or needs reconnecting. But once again, if you invest in it at the beginning, it is really, really easy to outsource. And all of my SA guests communication automated, pricing automated, okay? All the reports that I get sent to me every month with my KPIs automated. But you have to put in a bit of work at the start. And last but not least, okay, guest management, guest communication, the guest issues is really, really tough. And I've had scenarios when I've been on holiday and there's been a massive party at an SA, 50, 16-year-olds round a property because their parent booked it for a sweet 16. And we had fire engines and police and all kinds of madness. It's obviously ruined my night. I've had scenarios where, I've had team members managing guests. I'll never forget it. I was once out on holiday and I had a team member that was literally in tears because of the pressure that was put onto them whilst we was away. And the reason it's so hard is because SA is 24/7. It doesn't really switch off. You could have guests arriving at 2 p.m., 6 p.m., 11 p.m. You sometimes even have guests self-checking in. They land at Heathrow, all right? They're coming from Dubai. They don't get here till 2 a.m. and they need to access the property. Now, it's very hard to hire somebody that's going to have their phone 24/7 to look after your guests. So you're going to have to pay them well, and you're going to have to understand that every now and then it is going to come to you. But here's the good news, because I know what you're thinking. You're like, hang on a minute, Simon, aren't you supposed to be like encouraging us to do this? I've watched this video. I don't want to do it. Here's the thing. If you've got a full-time job now, you're probably spending 40 hours a week on it. Okay, there is no way you should be spending 40 hours a week running SA until you're up to about 30 to 40 plus units. So if you've only got 10 units, you should be able to do it in part-time hours. So rather than focusing on passive income, focusing on getting out of the job, being your own boss, and at least being able to do it on your own terms. If that sounds good, SA could be for you, all right? So don't close the door. If you want more information, there's hundreds of videos on this channel, the podcast, check out the book, and I would love to hear from you. Hit me up on Instagram and let's connect. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.